This video is going to show us how to open up OneNote and create a notebook in OneNote that is connected to your course. So the directions are listed here. You can always go back and pause on this. I will probably upload it to the Schoology page as well. So step number one is to go to the Schoology page for your course. Okay. Second step is to find the link for OneNote at the bottom of the left-hand column. Click on it. When the window opens, click on Open in OneNote. When the next message comes up, you're going to click on Open OneNote in Windows 10. And then finally, there should be a little box that says Get Started, and you should click on Get Started. At that point, you're going to wait for your notebook to be created and for it to load. After that, you're going to follow the rest of the steps in this video on how to copy over information from the content library into your class notebook. We're going to do that multiple times throughout the year. For now, we're going to copy over the helpful tips folder and all of the handouts for module number 1. Do not select move. If you select move, you're going to move it out of there and no one else is going to be able to copy, creating a lot of problems. And I will be able to track who did that. So please make sure that you are doing copy only. So I'm going to go to the Schoology webpage here. And Sahil was happy to help me out here. So here's our webpage for ST1, 7ST1. And like I said, you're going to scroll down, and in the left-hand column, you're going to click on OneNote Class Notebook. Okay. Again, when that opens, you are going to click on Open in OneNote. Okay, make sure you're choosing the one that says Open in OneNote. Then you are going to click on the one that says Open OneNote in Windows 10. And then you are going to click Get Started. It will take a little bit of time for it to be created. Eventually, you will have something that kind of looks like this. You'll have it saying probably 7-1ST, Mr. Orlando, or whatever class you're in. There are other groups, Math 7-1, 7-2, 7-3, 7-4, Math Advanced. In this situation, we have Sahil that did this, and you will see that I now have a folder here for him. I do not have any other students. I will get those students when you create your OneNote. So if you were to go to the content library, you might see something like this. If you go to the content library, you should see helpful tips. You should see module 1, grade 7. So for the helpful tips, I have a video embedded that have 7 tips to get more out of OneNote. I would highly recommend watching that. It will show you some tricks of what you can do in OneNote that will help you. I also have a student's guide for Teams live lessons and a student's guide to using Teams, which are directly then going to be in your notebook. And then the module 1, you can see that it has my website and Mr. Orlando's. It has our first lesson. It has the problem set questions from the module book that we could scroll down and we would be able to write answers on or type answers on. I have a link directly to Khan Academy videos that may be helpful. And I also have a video of the Embark lesson, which has full lessons explaining how to do the lesson when possible. And I've done that for each of the modules. For now, though, what you need to know how to do is how to transfer these folders into your notebook. Right now, you just have the free draw section. You have an extra section for other resources or help, and you have a test and quiz section. So what you do is you right-click. So right-click. You go to Move Copy. You then have to search for the class. So 7-1ST, Mr. Orlando. You have to then find your notebook, and then you need to then click Copy. Make sure you are clicking only Copy. So I click Copy. It takes a little bit of time. It'll say Copying Section, and you'll see in Sahil's notebook there is now helpful tips. So he will now be able to add a page if he wants. He will now be able to write on this. He'll be able to change things So that is what you want to be able to do. So I'm going to do the same thing now with Module 1, Grade 7. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to Move Copy. Again, you need to find your class, Math, find your notebook, click your notebook, and then click the word Copy. Only copy. When you do that, again, you should see a screen copying section. And if we see Sahil's notebook now, we see that he now has the folder Module 1 Grade 7. So where stuff is in the content library, you cannot write on it. Anything that's here, Sahil can now edit. So he could go here, he can go and insert, actually you would go to draw, and this is already a text box. So we could click here and he can right away just type his name. He could go over here and type the date. Okay. You would probably want to minimize this by clicking here. That makes your screen much bigger so you can see your work easier. We can scroll down. You'll notice that everything saves directly. He would be able to look at these questions now, and he would be able to type in answers. So the first one, yes, is proportional because x is multiplied by 4. Okay, you would also be able to write by going here. You could use your finger and you could write on the screen. So yes, and you could write with the mouse pad, or you should be able to write with your finger. So if we look at the second one here, 3 times 5 is 15, 4 times 5 is not 17. So that means the answer here, and this is me writing with my finger, is no. And then you would write the reason. So 3 times 5 equals 15. 4 times 5 equals 20, not 17. So as you can see, writing with your finger is a little bit harder to do. It's probably easier to use the text and then be typing in your answers. So again, this is how you would get to text. You can zoom in and zoom out using your fingers, spreading your fingers apart or spreading your fingers together. All of the things you write automatically scale with the page. So you can scroll up and down. Everything auto saves, so you do not have to worry about saving because everything will automatically save. So in his problem set section right now, Sahil has that part saved. When I finish the video, I will end up deleting that. So that is how to install OneNote and how to use the writing feature on OneNote.